City to Le Havre, France, and Southampton, England. For those who sailed on her, it will be a day long remembered.
I was born in Richmond, Surrey, England, and my parents, actually I came over with my mom. My dad he was in the Royal Air Force. He moved to the United States and joined the American Air Force. And my mom stayed there while she was pregnant because she wanted to spend time with her mother, and my grandfather just passed away. And so they decided that she would stay in England, have me, so my grandma could enjoy me, and then travel back to the United States to join him. From what I understand, we left from Southampton, and the stories I remember my dad telling me that it was such a fast crossing that we had to stay out by the Ambrose Lighthouse for nearly a day because there was no port open for the ship. My mom told me that when we traveled across, there was another lady with also a young child, and I think they shared a cabin together. I believe that's what happened. So anyway, my whole life I've grown up with all these stories. The reason that we ended up coming over here was because my father had 5 sisters who all married American GIs after the war. And he was the only sibling left there. Even his parents, my grandparents, had moved to the United States. So this is my grandmother Toogood, and holding me the first time I met her. That was probably the day after we got off the boat. The first thing I have here it's a little booklet. It's called, that's it. And it has all the passengers in here, including my mom and I. Been kind of one of my fondest memories of, just feeling like something special happened when I was little. This is another book about the United States. SS United States, and it's just kind of like all about the ship and photos and such. And then I also have a menu, and it's quite fancy actually for the day. Let's see. There's the menu, and it has things like fresh lobster cocktails, queen and ripe olives, cream mushrooms, champagne, lobster Newburgh. Anyway, quite a fancy menu. And this is the most important, I think. It's called a Souvenir Log. And the Souvenir Log is really cool because it has all the times, dates, the weather, everything about the trip. So I think that's kind of very cool. It must have been given to my folks either when they arrived or mailed to them, because it has all the information about arriving in New York. So I'm not sure if that was given to Mom when she left the ship, or if this was later sent to them. I'm not sure. This is a postcard that my mother sent from the ship to her brother in England. And it has a whole thing about the ship and how beautiful it is and how I'm being a good baby. So this is actually sent either when they arrived in New York, but it's a postcard from the ship. Dad shared the story about going to meet us at the dock, and he hadn't seen me for 4 months. So, he talks about the excitement of driving up to the port and, watching us get off. This is also a picture that my dad took in the 60s. Oops, can you see that? That's a real photograph he took because, like I said, he used to love to go see the boats, the ships in the dock and everything. And there's a whole message on the back there about it. It's just been a fabulous story of my life. And I've repeated it to many friends and told them. And it's a very interesting story, that not only was the maiden voyage, but I was the youngest passenger. So my kids, even my grandchildren, when we were visiting in New York one time, we went to a museum where you could pull up some of the footage from the ship, and my grandchildren watched it with me, and they were fascinated. So they've even talked about this at school too. So